What is up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we're going to be working on the Cadillac. We're going to be changing the oil on the Cadillac. It needs to be changed. Normally I would take it to a place to get it changed, but I can do it myself. So let me show you guys how to change an oil. So guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate all your guys' comments, and please go and like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. But today we're going to be doing the oil change. I know it's a simple oil change, but there are a few people who don't know how to change oils, and this isn't the V6 that I have. This is the V8. This is the North Star V8 we're going to be changing the oil on. So it's a little different from the V6. So since I have not done a video on this, because normally I would take it to Valvoline, have them do it. Only reason I was doing it was because of a paper trail. But in a pinch, right now, I just want to go ahead and get it changed. So we're just going to do that. So that's what we're going to be going to do. So let's go to the table and let's see what we got. Alright, forgive me for this fast speeding. It's really hot out here today. I have no fan. Well, I have a fan, but it's not going to be enough to keep me cool. So, forgive me, it's really hot today. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the oil. We got our filter, and we got a bunch of oils. And I know before you guys start freaking out, why do you have two different types of oil? Well, I normally change my oil. I'll go to Walmart because SuperTech's really good. I mean, it's kind of like how you would normally go to a store, like a pharmacy. You go like a Rite Aid or a Walgreens or a CVS. Sometimes CVS will have their medicine versus the Vicks or Robitussin or whatever medicine you need. There's always a second-hand one. But usually the second-hand ones are the same type of oil as what you just got. The only reason that it's just in a name brand. It's in a non-name brand container. So, and one of the reasons why I have SuperTech and then I have Pennzoil is because apparently 5W30 is starting to be a little scarce, which I'm a little worried about. It seems like every time I go to Walmart, they don't have the full kit and everything. And if they do have it, it's gone. So, like my wife's Escape takes 5W20, that's all over the place. And I could go to a 20 weight, but it'd be like what? 10 pounds lighter if I go to a 5W20. I mean, it wouldn't hurt the car, just that the oil would be a little thinner. And my car calls for 5W30. So, yeah, it's just been really scarce, and especially with it being full synthetic. Like, I could find the synthetic blend all over, but the full synthetic has seemed to be a little scarce at Walmart. I don't know what it is, but the last few times I've gone up there to get oil, it seems like the 5W30 is like gone. And then even the 5W20 was almost gone. Like, it's just been really weird. I don't know if it was just I just get in at the wrong time when they restock and then people just take them. That could be the possible thing too. Because I go to O'Reilly's or any place else and they have it, no problem. It's just a little bit more costly price, but that's okay. But let's get back on topic. So we're going to be changing the oil on this. I know a lot of people don't care to use Lucas oil in their cars. I like adding some extra additive protection. I know my car probably doesn't need it, but I like to add some kind of some extra protection in there, even though the full synthetic does its job in this car, in a full synthetic car. I mean, I used to put this in my Cadillac all the time, and I had no issues. So I'm hoping that this will maybe help with the timing chain rattling. Maybe it'll add some extra protection in to help it until I can get it replaced. So yeah. So I know a lot of people don't like using this, and they're like, "Why are you sticking that in there?" But I like sticking it in there, and it's my car. So you don't have to pay the money to get the timing chain fixed if it actually happens to break. So we're going to go ahead and start putting this in the car. So let's go over to the car and start working on it. Okay, guys, so we're jacked up. So we're going to get in here and show you where it is. So normally my V6 filter was on top, but actually my filter is right here. And here's my drain plug. So it's a little different from normal, back to the under the car instead of mine being up top, which was a little more easier, but it's okay. Not a big problem. So yeah, that's it right there. And some people I don't know if I could see it or not. I don't think so. Let's see. I don't think I can see it. And I don't think mine has it. But yeah, this is it right here. Filter, everything, you got it. So, okay guys, we are now secure on jack stands. So make sure if we get under there, make sure it's not moving. What I like to do is I like to crack this, let some of the airflow, lay it on top, so that way when it comes out flowing, not a big bloop bloop bloop. So then we got a new 16 quart oil pan. So I've been having a really hard time trying to find oil pans. I've probably gone through like 3 or 4 of them before I found this one. So this one, all the ones I keep getting were like either too small, I was either being cheap or whatever, but either be too small or not enough capacity. And I really wanted a nice deep one that could handle the oil flow. The last one I got was, I think it was a 10 or maybe 11. And the problem was that it wasn't deep, it was more high rise. So all the oil kept falling over and it wouldn't go in and it wouldn't flow down because the pop was up. So then I did some research and found a 16, went to go look at it, and it was perfect. It was nice and deep, flows towards the hole, and it can hold both of the car's oil. So that was the other problem too. I kept getting low capacity oil pans, and then I'd have to go to the store and change it, or it wouldn't hold. This is perfect. It's got the hole, the exit is up high, so there's not worrying about any fluid flowing out like the last time I would have. And both cars take about, well, I guess about maybe 12 or 13 or maybe even 14 quarts of oil together. So this is perfect. So definitely do your research when you get an oil pan, especially if you got multiple cars that you're doing it on. And if you want something a little more deeper, just gonna have to go someplace. I got this at Walmart. I think I paid like 12 bucks for it, which is really cool because they had one at AutoZone for 19, and I got this at Walmart for 12. So good deal. But there you go. Now let's go ahead and get up under this bad boy. All right, so we are going to get under here. We're gonna grab our pan. We're gonna move. Okay, sorry about that. My camera cut off. All right, so we're gonna get our oil pan. We're gonna get on this side because here's the fill. I mean, here's the drain plug, and it's gonna go this way. It's gonna get all over this line, which is not very fun. And then we'll get this oil filter off. So this is a 15. So I'm gonna try to get over as much as I can. So I got a 15 little ratchet piece, and we're going to kind of see if I can get a good yank. Okay guys, we're back. I apologize for that. I normally don't get very angry, but that irks me. I had a battle with that with my sister's car a long time ago. They got it on there so bad that we almost stripped it getting off. And it wasn't at a Valvoline, it was at a Jiffy Lube. They got it on there so tight, it does not need to be that tight. Hand tighten, a little snug is all you need. It does not need to be torqued down. That's how you ruin stuff like this. And then they have to replace the oil pan. So if I couldn't have got this off and stripped, I'd be blaming Valvoline for this because they're the ones that put it on, and I haven't changed the oil in this car since I've owned it. This is the first time I'm changing this oil in this car. I mean, it's been changed by Valvoline only one time, but because when I got the car, oil had already been changed by Valvoline up north. So I got the car and it had new oil in it, so I didn't need to change it. So this time I had them do it, and then now I'm doing it because of the reason. And it does not need to be this. I just can't stress that enough. You don't need to over torque it, guys. That's how you strip stuff. But let's get back on topic. So now we're gonna get this into the pan, trying to see if I can make it without it making a big bloody mess. Not for sure how this is gonna go, so I'm trying to get my setting right. So bear with me here. I know this is gonna get messy. I just don't know how it's gonna spew out. I can see if I could try and control it, but I don't know if this is gonna work. So let me see here. Let's see if I can try and control it. Okay, so we're a little far over, so we need to come back a little bit. Let's do like that. There we go. That way it's falling into the pan. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, see, come back just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna try and control this a little bit so it doesn't go all over the place. There we go. Because I just don't know how it's going to shoot, so it's better if I control it instead of just letting it go flailing all over the place. And you could go ahead and take it off, like to just yank it and take it if you want, but I'm going to try and hold on to this and try to make less mess for me to clean up, because, you know, they got all these components over here, the lines, you know, it's just going to go shooting, I think. But we're going to try our best to just do it this way. It's working way more better. So you can do it however you want, but I'm gonna do it this way just to make it easier. Sometimes they make elbows, oil drain plugs, so that way all you gotta do is just turn a valve and then just lets all the oil out. That's kind of cool, and then you can take off the rest and let it fall. But yeah, this way it's working out way more better. I think we could kind of let it go now. Let's see, try not to make a geyser here. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be a geyser. See if we can hold it a little longer, and then we'll come to an end. All right, we'll hold this until it gets a little bit better, and then we'll come right back. Okay, guys. So I got it. I just pulled it, and now it's flowing. So while we let that drain, we're going to go to something else that needs to be addressed while we're letting this drain. So let me get out from under here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, we're gonna let that drain and we're gonna come to another thing that needs to be addressed. So I did a video maybe a good couple of weeks back on my amp, and a lot of people liked it, and I showed you something kind of cool. So I got another amp, and here's the reason why. So in the video, I mentioned that you needed to, like, I had a blue connector and it didn't fit, and it needed to be the right pieces. Well, it comes to find out that yes, the amp in the car works. No more crackling of the speakers, which there's my speaker that I bought that I did not need to buy because the other one worked just perfectly fine. It wasn't because of the speaker, it was because of the amp. So the amp in this car and my car there, the amp basically gives sound to everything. It gives sound to the backup sensor, gives a sound to the signals, the left and right signals, the stereo, and it also gives sound to my Bluetooth. So everything in the car works except for the Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth is grayed out because it was working before. The only reason I'm thinking is that it's not the right amp. This amp is specifically for this premium car. So it's missing a few connectors to make it work. Even though it worked in the car fine, the quality of the sound is terrible. The only time I get good quality sound out of the one I got in my car now is when I'm listening to XM radio. XM radio unlocks everything and gives me everything back. But the Bluetooth doesn't work. That's right, that's what's happening right now. And I'm not getting better sound quality. So I ordered another amp, and I'm going to be putting it in now. And this one actually has the gray connector, just like in my old car, and just like in the other one. So we're going to go, while we're letting this oil drip and come out, we're going to be reinstalling this and see if we can get our Bluetooth and our sound back. So that's what we're going to be doing next. So let me get the trim teared out and we'll get this installed. Alright guys, so this is the amp that I bought from eBay, and as you see, the color is blue when it should be gray. So we are going to take this off and unmount it. It is really quite simple. There's a little pin here. You lift, it unsnaps, and you pull this off. Same thing here. There's a little, this one's a little more trickier because it's more smaller. So hold on, let me set this down here. flathead. All right, let me readjust you guys real quick. All right. So let me move this out of the way too. All right. So there's a little notch here. You have to push and then lift, and then that comes out. And there you go. There it is. And then now, what we need to do, I think it's I forgot what kind of size this was. I think it was a 10 or 9. 10. Everything's a 10. 10. All right. Just like in the last video, you have 3 screws. So I got 3 screws up top. Put that down to the side. And then there's 2 down here at the bottom. Try not to lose your screws. Take this off, undo it, and then now this is off. So we take this, set this down, grab our new one. See these there's little clips here. So you just take these clips and you push them, and then you just lift, like so. Then they come off, just like that. You got another one here. You got another little clip. This one's a little tighter, so you're gonna have to use a flathead, and then you just push it in, and then you, whatever, so gently, if I can get it to lay, push, and then boom, they come out, just like that. Now we're gonna reinstall this. Like some of the stuff off here. Sorry, I'm trying to clean some of this webbing stuff off here. All right. Wow, this thing is really dusty. Hopefully it works. I definitely did my homework and tested. They said they tested it, so hopefully they actually did test it, and they just didn't tell me that they tested it, and then it actually did not test it. So I'm hoping that they tested it. So we mount it back up here. You got a screw on top. You got 2 screws down here on the bottom. Oh, I just dropped it, just like I just said. Don't drop it, and I just dropped it. It's not gone. It's just fell down in the wheel well thingy. So here it is, right here. I think that one we're gonna use the actual socket wrench and stuff, so we don't lose it. Okay, and just put it on there like that. Get them all nice and cinched up. And the last one here. All right, now we'll just put the cables back in. So we'll start with the gray one. Do the gray one first because you can't do both. So gray one, it'll lock in place. Just make sure that it's in there, and it is. And then the top one, then just cinch it down, locks in place. Now everything's locked. So now let's go to the car and check the sound, and then we'll go back and we'll get to finish up the oil. So let us finish this oil real quick because I just saw that it's done. So we got to do the oil filter next. So let's finish this up real quick. Take you off the mount. All right. So oil is now done. It's dripping pretty good, so we're gonna put this cap back on it. Make sure you get it nice and lined in right. Should be smooth. No hold-ups. I'm just gonna wipe this excess oil off. Okay, and then we're going to grab our. Now we can grab our opening wrench. We can actually use that now. Oops, wrong way. Oops, sorry. Tie this back up. Here, let me get it tight real quick. All right, there we go. All right, all you need to do is 1, 2, 3. That is tight as all you need. It does not need to be any more tighter than that. Just saying. All right, now we're gonna get to the dirty part. Now we gotta get this filter off. And I'm sure they did not make this easy either. Well, it's coming. Ooh, sort of. All right. Yet again, you do not need to make this thing super tight. All right, hold on. This one's the same thing too. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. All right, we're ready to get it off. That's what. Thank you for brute strength, because it's definitely rough. All right, so we could have some excess fluid coming down from here. Not for sure. I think it might be all right. Oh, here it comes. Woo! That was a lot of oil. All right, now we'll let this drain, and then we'll go ahead and finish working on the amp. All right, guys. So before we actually mess with the amp, we're going to finish this up real quick. We'll wait until this gets down on all fours, and then when it's down on all fours, then we'll go ahead and mess with the amp. So right now, let's get all this cleaned up so that way it's nice and level, and then we can mess with it. We can sit in the car. I don't want to be sitting on the jack stands in the car. So we'll actually wait until we get it on all fours, and then we'll finish up this oil change real quick. So right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our filter. Get our filter here, and we got a frame one. I like to frame one with this little grip thing, so we don't have to struggle to get the other one back on. So now some people would actually pour oil in this. I was thinking about doing it because they say it saves from a dry start, but I think we'll be okay. So some people say you shouldn't do it. Some people say you should. I don't think it really matters either way. It's more of a personal preference. You can or you can't. I don't think a little bit of the oil not in here would be hurt, but I do get the understanding of pouring some in here because even race cars would have like an oil sump, so you're not doing dry starts, which kind of makes sense. So we actually let's do that. We're gonna do that. I get the idea of adding oil into this. It does make sense to do it, especially if you don't want to have a dry start. So we are going to pour a little bit of oil into the filter. I've seen people do it. I've seen people when they do motorcycle stunts. A guy I used to follow, he used to do it. So this is my first time ever actually doing it. Because most of the time it's always turned to the side like the Escape. So we're going to just pour a little oil into the filter. Like so. Just a little bit. Oh, I see it's going down too. So we'll pour a little bit more in there. Okay, that's probably pretty good. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. We gotta be careful not to spill it. So let's come over here. Get here on the ground. Set this on the ground. Because you see it's got oil in there. It's kind of cool. I never thought about doing. Oops, sorry. All right, let's check this area out real quick before we start going crazy with it. All right, so there it is right there. We'll just take our rag and wipe this area. Take our rag and just clean up the area a little bit. Ooh, what was that? Something just fell out. Hold up a sec. What was that? Oh, that was the ring. Was that the ring of the... Oh, that was the ring of the oil filter. I'm glad I saw that. The ring of the... Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. There's no oil filter ring on the filter. It's right there. All right, so yeah, we definitely gotta make sure that's not in there. Let me clean some of this area up real quick. Get some of this oil area clean before we put it all back up in here. But yeah, let me get over here. So yeah, the oil ring was stuck on there, which is a good thing we took it off, but I think that could have all due to them having it super tight, because that should have came off with the filter. So I don't know why that didn't, but yep, there's the filter, and then that little hole is like an oil cooler. So now we're going to take our oil can and put it right up in the hole and twist it. Make sure it gets all nice and lined up. Alright. Hold up, I think I need 2 hands. Hold on. Alright, so yeah, we definitely gotta make sure that's not in there. Let me clean some of this area up real quick. Get some of this oil area clean before we put it all back up in here. But yeah, let me get over here. So yeah, the oil ring was stuck on there, which is a good thing we took it off, but I think that could have all due to them having it super tight, because that should have came off with the filter. So I don't know why that didn't, but yep, there's the filter, and then that little hole is like an oil cooler. So now we're going to take our oil can and put it right up in the hole and twist it. Make sure it gets all nice and lined up. Alright. Hold up, I think I need 2 hands. Hold on. Alright guys, so we're good. Sorry, I needed 2 hands. It wasn't getting a line with 1 hand. So I held it in and then pushed and turned, and then it took it. So now we're good. We're nice and good. All the oil is up in there, and we are good to go. So now we got the oil filter and the caps on, or the drain plugs on right there. So now let's get this on the ground, and now we can put the oil in. Guys, now we got the car on the ground. Let's go ahead and test this stereo out so we can make sure that it's all good. Okay guys, now that we got the car on the ground, let's test out the stereo and make sure this is all going to work. So, okay, don't hear any crackling noises. Okay, I don't hear anything. Well, that's not good. Uh-oh. Aww. Well, technically, that was bad. Oop, don't start the car because you ain't got no oil in it. Yep. That wasn't good. So now I got to order another one. Bummer. Guys, we're going to finish up this oil change. So we're going to go ahead and add this Lucas first. So let's get this off and get this in. All right. All right. Takes care of that. Now, do the oil. I can clip up the hole. All right, let's get this in here. All right. Here's all the oil, and we should be good. Take a gauge test on it and check the levels, and then we should be good. May have to add some a little later, but we'll let the oil kind of suck up a little bit of it. Kind of go from there. So let's clear this off. Let's put this cap back on so nothing else falls in there. Check our levels. Okay, it's pretty full for right now, but we'll have to top it off later because of the oil, the filter. So we'll have to add some once it soaks all up. But that's it. We are good to go. Okay, guys, so we're back on the car. I figured out what it was. It needed dielectric grease. So I tried replacing it with the new one that I got from Amazon, the right one, and now it works. At first it didn't work, and the other one didn't work, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why the one that I had in there from the first one I got didn't work. Well, it needed dielectric grease, and now it's working. So I'm gonna show you guys it's working. All right, let me show you what I have. So, sitting on my keys. All right, so this is the one that I just got. Hold up. Sorry. All right. Sorry about that. I was sitting on my keys. Okay, so this is the amp that I just got, and it has the right grayness to it. This one is the original one that came with the car, and this one is the one that I had in the car to replace this. Now this one's working, but it's still crackling the sub. So once I put dielectric grease in that, and then it started working, I was like, that's interesting, but I still hear the crackling. So since it worked, I put in the one that I just got, and it's working fine. And as you see here, you see how it's all wet? That's dielectric grease. So apparently this just needed dielectric grease, and this is working, but it's still crackling the sub. So I wouldn't consider it completely fixed or the culprit, because it's still crackling. So I got the one that I wanted in there, and this one should work fine too, but I'm not going to test it because this is working. So I'm not going to keep going back and forth, but I know this will work because it was working earlier. There was no issues. It just needed some dielectric grease. So I put dielectric grease in this, and then here, I'll show you. This will come into the car. Boom, now it's working. And my, actually, hold on, I think I may have to turn off all this on all their accessories. Hold on a sec. All right, and wait, my clickers aren't working. Hold up. Huh, okay. Let's start the car. There we go. You hear him clicking now? So the signals work off the audio, and the radio is working too. I just give you that much of a taste. But yeah, it's working now. So yeah, we're good. We got the amp working. So it just needed dielectric grease, which is quite odd. I mean, that would make sense because it's just dry back there, and there's just you know, a dry area. It makes sense that would need dielectric grease to continue the contact. So we are completely good. I'll put this back together, and now we'll be done. All right, guys, and just like that, we are done. We got the oil change, we got the new amp in, and it's working perfectly. Now, all I gotta do is I got better sound now. Now my Bluetooth works. I actually checked it. We're good to go. So all that took was just a little bit of dielectric grease, which was mind-boggling. I didn't even think about that because the blue one was working, and then all of a sudden it stopped working, and I couldn't figure out why. All the fuses were good, everything was good and connected, and I couldn't think of anything. I said, you know what? Let me put some dielectric grease and see if that will make the contact. Sure enough, that made the contact. Everything is working really good. It worked on the old one, the original one I had in the car. Then I put the one I just got, and it's working perfectly fine. It's just crazy. Now I got 2 amps. I got a blue one, and then I got my gray one. And even though the gray one still works, it's just crackling the center speaker, and that's no good. So we're definitely going to not use that one. That could be used as a backup in case that one goes down. But the blue one, I may keep it or get rid of it because now I don't need it. So if anybody needs an amp that has that, make sure you have the blue connector, the blue and the black instead of the gray and the black, and you're good unless you don't care. So and then I have a speaker. I have a center speaker that's good too. So I have a center speaker and I have an amp. So if anybody needs one, comment me down or follow me on Instagram and find out. You can go there. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys go have a good and blessed weekend, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next fix. Until then, peace.